attitude. Your heart is a magnet, I'm coming at you. Girl, you're my target, I'm aiming at you. You're a comet, I'm trying to catch you. We can break any rule they ever taught you. Forget about anything they ever bought you. Cause me and you don't need a lot in this world to get by. Plus you know I got you, you pull me in. I don't resist, time seems to fly but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix. And I wish that
I just keep my eyes shut. Maybe this time it'll be enough.
So I need the dark. Without you here I would never see the stars. I'm headed for you, foot on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back.
Say so right now until the truth comes out. I gave you everything, and I gave you everything. Say so right now, left alone, cried out. I gave you everything, and I gave you everything. I don't understand what they want from me. They take my hands, washing them in dirty water. Try to find what's right in a distant place.
Good evening everyone on the APAC server. Tonight we are following the second day of the third Proof of Skill tournament, spring season. I will not repeat too much about the format of Proof of Skill tournaments because you all know the format by now. So just to summarize, it's a double elimination format with 4 teams in each group. And you all know how it looks like to be in a double elimination, but make sure that you know that there's no stage 3. Anyway, quickly going through the stuff you need to know. This is the number of cups that you can earn for finishing in a particular position. However, this is going to get really important. I think after tonight we can actually see what teams are comfortably safe and what teams might be in jeopardy. But there will be a lot of changes to the leaderboard, as we will see in the lounge pretty soon. And I might spend some time talking about what to expect tomorrow. Not tomorrow, 2 days after, as we begin the first Proof of Skill tournament. And yes, it will be a lot to go through actually, with regards to the cups. And I think I spent quite some time in the autumn season doing that too. But we will see. So today is the third and last day of Proof of Skill tournament, and 2 days after we will commence the last Proof of Skills tournament, and it will be it will be hella competitive because there are lots of cups that could be obtained on the very last day. Professional tournament will be held from the 10th to the 20th, with a noticeable break in between. Challengers and also lower echelon championship tournaments will be held from the 10th to the 14th, and I'll be following the grand final and hopefully also the lower bracket final on the 13th. I believe I'll be there just in time to follow. This is the bracket for the group we are following tonight. You can see all 4 teams here are going to be in the top, going to be fighting for a spot in the top 8. We first follow Nomad versus SBS. Both of these teams are teams that I haven't followed so far, so it will be interesting to see how they play. NQRY also haven't followed them yet. So yeah, we have 3 teams that I haven't followed yet, and INSRT I followed them in the last previous skill tournament. Yeah, I would say all of these teams are contenders for top 8, so you will expect a lot of close games and a lot of close calls. So enjoy the entertaining game tonight, and I will sure have enough tea to accompany me with a lot of shouting. Madbox has made the following predictions: Risk, GB, ID Nomad, NQRY, SDIJ, and INSRT are the ones that are still predicted by Madbox. But there is one new clan that has replaced XPT, and that is Lemur. A lot of you would be asking why it is the case. Lemur only played in the 3rd previous skill tournament, and why are they now in the top 8? If you look closely at Lemur's team lineup, a lot of them were from EVG and P1, and some from E7 as well. So they are essentially from the same family, and these clans have got at least top 4 a couple of times. So these players have a lot of experience, and they have been playing together for quite some time. Although they only participated in the 3rd previous skill tournament, and they probably haven't trained for this season. I won't underestimate Lemur team. I think they could pick back where they left off pretty quickly. I mean, at the end of the day, they played in the winter season this year, so Lemur, I don't know. I hope, I'm not sure how long they will get back to where they were, but I mean, they lost to EVG twice yesterday. But if I'm using the rating of EVG or P1 in the power rating, Madbox is thinking they could snatch a spot in the top 8 by just snatching a spot. But in this situation, they have to win all their groups, beginning with today. Will it happen? I am not sure, but I'm very confident if they don't win their group tonight, I don't think they will get top 8. I think Madbox will say something otherwise, but we'll see. Okay, let's switch the scene. So you will see the reason why Group 2 is one of the toughest group tonight. NQRY, Nomad, INSRT, and SBZ, they occupy the top 9 spots on the Cup's leaderboard. So either 2 of them could... I mean, INSRT and SBS are in jeopardy of being replaced in the top 8. And then Nomad and NQRY, if they don't perform well tonight, they could also be in jeopardy of finishing in the top 8. But we will go through all the groups later now. And group 3 and 4 are also quite competitive in some sense. So group 3 we have ID Scam, SDIJ, and ARWV. They didn't qualify in the 2nd previous skill tournament, but they came really close against ID, and I mean they played alright against SDIJ. Yesterday they had a good performance. So you don't want to rule out ARWV surprising us. And in Group 1, we have Risk INSRT with the number 1, GV and UV. I think this is more of an obvious group where, you know, where they would finish. Like the exact placings of that group will probably be a little bit clearer. And even if Risk or GB drop cups tonight, they will still be in the top 8 because only 8 teams are in the top 2 of each group actually. So there is really no danger of either of them dropping any cups tonight when we talk about the top 8. Group 4, we have Libra, EVG, XPD, and Nomad, and I think this is going to be another interesting one. XPT haven't been firing all cylinders so far, and they've come very close to some of the top 8 clans here, but they are struggling a little bit. So against Nomad, they don't want to drop cups against them. Nomad is not a terrible team. They've shown us that they could mount a good push. So we will see if they could do something against Nomad first, and then we all know Lemur not in the Cups leaderboard so far. Against EBG, they are in the same group again, but this is a great chance for EBG to challenge for the top 8, despite not qualifying in the last Proof of Skill tournament, because they were drawn against SBZ and also SDIJ. But EVG, can they advance to the top 8 tonight if they finish first? Probably they could. So Group 4 is another big unknown here. And Lemur, can they mount a top 8 challenge for good performance tonight? I don't know. But Group 4 is another exciting group to follow actually. I think the placings of these teams are not exactly known, but I would say it will be a group that could prove their worth in the top 8. That's what I would be thinking for this group. So I'll be in the room very soon. So again, for the leaderboard, the first places we have Risk ID, Nomad, and GV. Obviously, they are not tied in the first place per se, because they will be ranked by the clan rating, otherwise known as their win rates in the spring season. But this is not going to matter much until the end of the Proof of Skill tournament series. So I'm going to keep it as that. I don't want to overcomplicate my code there. NQRY in the 5th place, SDIJ 6th, XPT 7th, and INSRT 8th. Will INSRT drop out on top 8 tonight? If they get top 2 tonight, that will be good. That will be brilliant. And I think only Nomad would allow themselves to finish 3rd, or even 4th. But if they finish 4th, they are in trouble. But I don't think they will finish 4th. They've been playing pretty good so far, and I think they have improved massively since the autumn season. I'm excited to see how much they've improved here. And then SBZ, they've won against SDIJ before, so they have proven themselves they can beat some top 8 clans here. I would not rule out them performing well tonight, but then they lost 0-2 to Crank yesterday. I'm not sure why. I assume it could be due to them not having enough players. But then I couldn't prove that unless someone from SPZ told me so. If that's the case, I will remove that result from the power rating, because this is something that I would not include in power rating. It's not representative of how they play. power rating is all about calibrating skills, not you know, it's all about calibrating skills. And if they don't have enough players to play, that is not representative of their true skill. But I think we are running in we are in jeopardy of seeing SBZ with inadequate players. They only have 6 so far, as we can now see in the waiting room. Nomad, they have 6. They have 7 players. They have actually 9 players in the 9 players here. I think one of them. I think we at one point saw 10, or is it me having deja vu? I don't know. Hello Kaiser, how are you doing? Yeah, you should be sleeping, but thanks for staying up for watching the stream. SVZ, they are hoping for another player to come in, but they have 1 minute and 30 more seconds to go. I hope they will show up with 7 players, because it's not nice to only show up with 6 players. They are in the 9th place on the Cup's leaderboard. Oh, they now have 7. So, any worries of SBZ showing with only 6 players are vanquished. They are going to be playing with 7. So this is going to be exciting. Yukon is a map that is a little bit flat. It's a 4-cap map though. So we will see a couple of super heavies, but Nomad are taking a couple of held down tanks, double Super Conqueror and a double T110D5s. There is a little bit of terrain for Yukon with Yukon for ABC side as well. So they really have to make use of that. Otherwise, if they are forced to play on flat ground, they won't be able to hide their armor. Their frontal armor, they have a couple of weak spots on their frontal armor. So if you compare that to the super heavies, the likes of the Mouse or the VK, which they have a lot smaller weak spots on the front, and also 60 TP here as well. The T110E5 Super Conqueror will suffer in that situation. So SVZ will want that to happen. They're taking a bit of a diverse setup. I don't really have a light tank on my APAC account, but the medium will do the same job as the light tank actually. So there is no worries about that.
Let's go.
Just have to remind me not to take a heavy tank or TD, which will spawn me in a different position. But as we said, we are seeing them taking a 60 TP. Nice for the ISM with 3FK, T110E5, T95E6 and VK. So for Nomad, they just need to call out the tank names, not the player names, because none of the players from SVZ are taking the same tank, which will shorten the call. Could be good news for Nomad here. But B has been captured. All good shots onto Just Do It and At the World. So the hit points are still in favor of SVZ. They have more hit points because they don't have a light tank. But as for Nomad, they have traded a little bit better. And Doraba is getting really aggressive and starts. Coco is not able to put a shot onto Doraba, but we see Nomad dealing with the Doraba's push. I'm not sure if that's the right call, because Doraba is pushing pretty much alone, while Nomad, I think they are pressuring C. SBZ is trying to take out Mako and potentially my aim no sense. Nomad looks very spread out, so I have a little bit of a worry here. SBZ, but SBZ aren't able to take out tanks quickly enough. Mako is still alive, and it has taken them quite some time to take out the tank. Meanwhile, SBZ has pushed in, taken out Foom. We completely missed that push, but this push is going to work really well. Look at how much more quickly Nomad is taking out these tanks here. Just Do It is going to go down to Cocoa already. 2 tanks down for SBZ. Nomad loses another tank of My Aim No Sense. and they're now rotating to support their team. Hit points are now in favor of Nomad, and Resistor is going to put a great shot onto No Problem. Good focus fire by Nomad here. Kazuya is going to put a shot to kill No Problem, and now Resistor is trying to brawl against F. Takes a base shot from F while they are taking the tungsten shell. Good shot into F by Resistor, and we can see Spectre and Coco chasing Mama Yeah, or is it a name that is supposed to mimic the Taiwanese cellist? I'm not sure. And X4 is going to brawl against XXING. Great hash onto XXING, but will be killed by X4. Mama Yeah is killed by fire, and it's 3 versus 3 now. Resistor is now in some sort of trouble. Will be moving backwards because they don't have a lot of hit points. With Spectre coming in with full hit points, Nomad still also has the cap lead. So if they do not win the 3 versus 3 fights, they still have the caps to rely on, and XXING is out of the fight. And we're going to be seeing a 3 versus 2. Spectre has taken a big hit from Afterworld. Great start from Nomad and SVZ. They are a little bit slow so far, but things could change. Things could still change. They just have to get off their cold feet. And Resistor is killed. 2 versus 1. It's a close game either way. I think SVZ, if they could kill those T110E5s a little bit more quickly, then I would think Nomad would have a much harder time in winning this one. So well done to Nomad, and great start to Nomad. This group of death here. 1-0 to Nomad. I mean, look at the damage. 4 times to more than 2k for SVZ and 5 times to more than 2k for Nomad. So all in all, a great performance by Nomad here, and SVZ. They're not bad at all. Just a little bit slow, but things will change. They just need a little bit of warm up. I mean, the last match was very close. Nomad, the Super Conquerors, love that they use hash to deal with some of the side armor. Against Strift Ks, you can use hash to penetrate Strift Ks. So that explains why we are seeing some British tanks on the battlefield. So Nomad this time will be taking triple Super Conk, double Strift K, a T100 LT and a T110E5. And as we said, on the other hand, double 60 TP, Strift K, an IS4 T110E5, a T100 LT and an IS7. And this time, Nomad cannot call SVZ by their tank names because SVZ, they have duplicate tanks. So I'm not. Some clans would call the tank name. Some clans would some teams would call focus by the tank name, and some will call focus by the player name. I personally prefer calling by player name because that's pretty much the shortest way to call. You want to keep your chat efficient. That is pretty much the essence of Clan Wars communication. So if you can shorten your terms as much as possible, you can allocate some space to more important calls. And the issue with calling tank names is that you might run into duplicate tanks, which then you have to call their HP, the amount of HP they have, and that could get quite confusing because the HP will change rapidly as you do focus fire. So I personally prefer player names, but then some player names are quite hard to pronounce. So in that situation, I would say be a bit flexible about that. So let me look at Coco and the T1 LG again. The only light tank on the battlefield, going to the D position again. But SBZ is also going for the D position. Oh, great blind fire by Just Do It, but Coco didn't fire. So SBZ doesn't know there is a light tank there. So Coco, I love that they did not panic. Resistors try to get the corner. Will they get a lot of shots from SBZ? A miss. Both misses. Both missed. I mean the Shrift case. Nomad got C. And again, SBZ without a cap lead. But this time, SBZ is trading a little bit better. Or maybe not. I might have jinxed that. Because they have lost a couple of hit points. And now Nomad spreading out once again. They could connect well in the last one, but I think we are seeing a big push coming in from the backside of SVZ. SVZ is in a bit of trouble. They're trying to push onto the resistor as well. This is all about shot efficiency. Can Nomad get a tanks out first? It will be the case. Just Do It gets killed. And Nomad is inspiring into Afterworld. No problem. It's now the focus of Nomad. It's now quite low. And it's looking pretty good. Resistor is now out of the fight. But SBC is trying to make it really difficult for Nomad to focus fire. No problem. It's now down to one shot. But look at Kokowa running around like a madman. It's going to be extremely crucial. But they are facing the frontal armor of the 60p, so I will not go for that. They will go for Doraba instead, but it's a bounce there. There is a bit of a lifeline for SBZ. A couple of bounces might be enough to turn this around. Good shot to Fumigan. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I would call him Fu for now. And Mako is now out of the way. Kokowa again, flanking from behind. Going to put a great shot to Fum. Kazuya is going to be very low, down to a 2 shot. A great shot to Fum. And now Fum is trying to put a great shot to Binosis, but I think SBZ, they are struggling. They're struggling to converge. If you see what I mean, it's them going for a couple of different targets individually. I think this is why they are struggling in this one. Nomad, I love how they connect with one another with the crossfire, and their focus fire is much better for me. Great job by Nomad. Great push from the spawn of SBZ, and SBZ was unable to converge their forces to take out particular tanks. I think they've divided a lot of attention to different tanks. I think this meant that Nomad was able to kill the tanks of SBZ a bit more quickly, and I've put the wrong score in a different position. I apologize about that, and it should be showing the same the right stuff now. Not now, because Nomad has qualified to the upper bracket final, and we are going to be saying NQRY up against SBZ. INSRT has won against NQRY. Interesting. What's the scoreline of that? I am curious. INSRT, well done, at least top 3. 2-0 against NQRY. This is going to be tough pill to swallow for NQRY. They are somewhat inconsistent so far. But they have to bring it to SBZ. They just have to converge their push. They have to streamline their pushes a little bit better, and they will be able to mount a challenge. And NQRY, they went really close against Blitz. I don't want them to drop cups here because I want them to be in the top 8. They are a great clan, great team, and not to say SBZ is not a great clan. SBZ is also a great clan. I actually want to see all of them in the top 8, but I don't think that would be possible. NQRY. Are we going to be seeing changes? I'm going to actually go back to the launcher now, because you don't want to, because the delay will catch up So let's actually take a look at the lineup. Not the lineup, let the results of all the groups. Let me reload my screen. But once again, great job to Nomad. Great start. Group 2 is going to be extremely exciting to watch. Okay, so Risk and GV both won 2-0. No surprises there. To be expected. I'm going to show you through. I'm going to show the window. Yes. Okay, next we have Nomad against INSRT in the upper bracket final. If INSRT wins a win against Nomad, then they will be guaranteed a top 8 spot for now. But they are on the verge of being knocked out of top 8, so they have to pick up every point they could in order to secure a spot, and I hope they will. ID Tuner against Scam, and SDIJ still playing against RSOC. So no surprises there either. EVG 2-0 against Lieber. Oh, a quick one indeed. So will they be able to get top to win the group in the end? Okay. Now all of them are ready. So we will see NQRY taking double 113s, IS4, IS7, T100 LT 60TP and MLE and SBZ, 60TP Crown, a Striff, 60TP 113, double 60TP 113, double Striff, and a T110E5. I'm going to actually, before I forget, remove the window. Good. So, Port Bay, only one team can qualify to the lower bracket final. Well, NQRY's top 8 is now in jeopardy after their loss against INSRT, and they must win against. As he said, this is the round that they must do something. It's a best of 5 this time, so to win this fixture, you have to win at least 3. So will they do that? Port Bay is going to be interesting map to follow. A different map than Yukon, so to speak. So well, let's find out now. NQRY.
Let's go.
Okay, looking at NQRY, we're seeing the red team going to C, and also SBZ going to C. And that light tank is going to be extremely crucial. I don't know why SBZ hate their light tanks. They are not taking light tanks 3rd time in a row. So that's not something I would recommend. Not in Port Bay. So Port Bay is quite a large amount. You really want that light tank, especially taking this northeastern corner. That light tank is going to do a lot of crucial spotting, and that position is going to haunt SBZ hard. But at the same time, you can see SBZ going down under. Oh, Mama, yeah, spotted. So will NQRY push? Because they will have 7 tanks. They will have 7 tanks near C, and I think they're looking for a push now. They know they have the numerical advantage. But Uncrowned is absolutely focused at the start. So Uncrowned needs to pull back. And the rest of NQRY tanks have now joined to shoot F, but their focus fire is a bit off at the moment. But Strip Case have quickly rotated to support their team. So it's all about getting calling the right focus. But NQRY is a little bit slow in killing the tanks out. And there is a lifeline for SBZ to get the tanks and to get the full advantage. Flying Pan is down. Dorobird is down. It's now a 5 versus 5. Naruto is also quite low in health too. We got Speed Star being the focus for NQRY. Catfish still pretty important at northeastern corner, taking some hits. However, Naruto is down very low, but Catfish misses the shot onto XXING. Just Do It is not long for this one. Naruto is out. Just Do It is out. It's a 4 versus 4 hit points neck and neck, but XIG is going to be out of the fight. And look at how important Catfish is, but he takes a big shot from Foom, and Speed Star is coming to save Mama Yeah. Mama Yeah is trying to kill Catfish, and it will be a kill there. Important kill by Mama Yeah, and we are seeing NQRY struggling with the hit points. TBB Volcanic Venus is trying to go down to avoid getting shot by Foom, but I don't know if they can do it. Oh, great kill by Speedstar onto Mama Yeah. It's going to be a 3 versus 2. 2 versus 2 now. Hit points to neck and neck. This can still be anyone's game. A negative. Great shot onto Shibuya, but Foom is going to drop the tungsten shell. Looking to put a big shot to Shibuya. Big shot to Shibuya there here. But NQRY has higher DPM to tackle this. But Shibuya bounces. Oh no. Great shot onto Foom by Speedstar. But Foom could kill Shibuya, but Foom bounces. Shibuya absolutely have to put a shot there. They do. And Speedstar gets a kill to Foom. What a close game it is. And NQRY barely pulls through. They have to make sure they get the focus fire on point. That was not the best I have seen from them so far. And SBZ, the strip case, rotated just in time. But I'm really not. But just in time. And they were very close, very close in winning in winning against NQRY. But I think there are two issues here for SBZ. Unfortunately, no one essentially to distract the T100 LT of NQRY. I mean, that player did more than 2k and killed 2 tanks. You might say they haven't done a lot of damage, but they have caused havoc on the main brawl site. And Catfish was very important in making it a little bit easier for the individual tanks to do 1 versus 1. And the second is they somewhat telegraphed their numerical disadvantage overseas when they are sending the strip case down to capture B. They try to capture B as well, which is a clear indication that NQRY, they have 7 tanks up near C, and they have to do something about that. So you don't want to let the opponent know that you have the numerical disadvantage. But NQRY almost got undone for the focus fire. They have to make sure they don't. They have to keep it absolutely on point. The next one, a bit of a shaky start for NQRY, more of a shaky start for SBZ, and we're going to go in to the second battle on Port Bay. They must, both of them have to be at their 100%. They do not want to drop their guard down, because this is absolutely crucial. I'm going to update the scoreline, which will say NQRY is leading 1-0. Brilliant. NQRY, they are not dropping that T100 LT. That player is so important in the last battle. But let's follow them again. But this time, SBZ will take a T100 LT for the first time this evening, and this is a tank they sorely need. And I hope they will make use of that. But this time, SBZ is not going for C. They're instead going for B and A and B, and they're trying to get a cap lead this time. And Just Do It is there to see if there's anyone going to B, and he would now drop into B to capture the base. And Dorobird is going past A, but NQRY isn't spotting anyone near B, so this is going to be an interesting start for NQRY. They don't have the cap lead, SVZ does, and SVZ is trying to go for A as well because Starbird is spotting nobody, so they know at least no one is going to reset A. But NQRY, Uncrowned is spotted and gets shot at by SVZ. Great start there, and this will be NQRY will be under huge pressure now. NQRY, they do not have the cap advantage. They also lost some hit points. They also lose some hit points. And we are talking about 10 cap points for 2 seconds to increase. So essentially, we're just looking at NQRY having 1 more minute to respond to this. They don't have a lot of time to decide. And Crown taking another hit, double tap. This is going from bad to worse for NQRY. How are they going to deal with this? SVZ is just going to sit really deep next to their spawn. They don't really have to do much. All they need to do is just to reset the bases and not allow NQRY to get any of that. Mama Yeah is spotted, so where is NQRY going to push from? Will they push through C? This is potentially the weak spot of SBZ setup. I think it's quite obvious that A and B will be heavily fortified, but so why not push through C? And then maybe like 1 or 2 tanks trying to overlook A and B and try and steal that while SBZ is trying to deal with the push on C. And this might be my call. But we will see what NQRY is going to do. They have to do something now because we are approaching 800 cap points for SBZ. And then Naruto is dropping into B. And they are dropping into A at the same time. But this is something of an obvious move in the eyes of SVZ. And now trying to reset A and B. And NQRY has dropped a couple hit points trying to do that. But we could see Mama Yeah being isolated over B. And Speedstar has to do something against Fume capturing C. If they lose C, this is going to be terrible news for NQRY. They absolutely have to retake C. B, Mama Yeah is now down. But look at the hit points of SVZ. They have a lot more hit points. Although they lost 1 tank. SVZ, they will lose B. And it's really imperative that they got C here. Volcanic Venus is down. Catfish is down. And they will get the win. Well done to SVZ, and NQRY isn't able to deal with the 2 cap strategy by SVZ. And I think the main issue is how on earth do they allow SVZ to capture C in the first place? I'm not sure what happened to the 1-3 there. Maybe they the traverse speed is an issue for them to do 1 versus 1 and stop C from capturing. Was not the best push from NQRY, but then Mama Yeah just went into B alone. Kind of. It was totally chaotic for both teams. But SVZ wasn't that difficult for them to stop. Difficult for them to stop a 2 cap reset from NQRY. It's something that will be something that they will expect for the other team to happen. So it's pretty much looking at a textbook and seeing what to do in that situation. They should, I mean, they're probably well trained on what to do when they have when they have both A and B on board. So great job to SBZ in playing with the caps, and NQRY in a bit of a trouble here. Normandy 1-1 the scoreline is. Now NQRY is taking double crown, double YSM, double 6 TP, and the Strip K. And let's be said, double crown, T125 Super Conqueror, 6 TP, and ISM and the Strip K. This is exciting. NQRY, they're in jeopardy of dropping down the packing, falling down the packing order on the Keep Cups leaderboard. They have to absolutely deliver tonight. And we will say Normandy. It's a totally different map than Port Bay, that being Normandy is a lot more undulated, but at the same time still full cap map. It's now at the same time it's now full cap map, but it's still open. It's still quite open. Port Bay is relatively open, but Normandy is even more open. The light tank is going to be extremely crucial, but no one's taking light tank on Normandy. Don't know why, but we will have to. But I will predict this is going to be quite an aggressive play for both teams because they don't have a light tank or medium tank, so they absolutely would have to win by being a bit more streamlined. So we could see a big brawl very soon. We'll find out what's going to happen here. XT3 out. Ooh, already both of them bounced. And another miss from Catfish, so not the best start from NQRY. A good shot onto Afterward by Naruto, but they only have one shot in the clip, and now they are on a big reload. Good trading for NQRY so far. They're trying to get D at the start. This will spread out the team a little bit. Will SBZ capitalize on this moment to push? They don't. They didn't. So they will wait for a little bit. Naruto still reloading. Good shot from Baba Ye onto Disney. Oh, Fume. How on earth did NQRY allow SBZ Fume to go there? Disney's now in deep trouble. NQRY needs to do something, needs to kill some tanks, but I think they're caught under the push from SBZ. Great call from SBZ. NQRY, they need to get their focus fire on point. Anqry needs to come in to save their team. This has descended into pandemonium. It's all about focus fire now. NQRY, they need to get Dorabird. Dorabird is now down to one shot. He's now killed. It's a 6 versus 5 here. XT3 out is trying to get Babaye, but Flying Pan's out of the way. It's now a 5 versus 5. A Speed Star needs to put a base shot onto Babaye. They cannot bounce. It's a great kill to Babaye, but Uncrown wasted their shots. And the next tank NQRY wants to go for will be XXOIG, but SVZ wants to kill XT3 out, and they do. And it's now 4 versus 4. X6IRG is now on one shot. Naruto is now very low. They are now on a drum reload. The DPM is going to hurt them a lot. But they still have the Strift K relatively healthy. But they are struggling to kill XXIRG. And the Catfish, that HE shot is not enough to kill XXIRG. Naruto is now down to one shot. Great shot by Fume. But Naruto needs to drop down. Needs to stay out of the fight for now, because Sim is coming for the head of Naruto. But great job for NQRY's forces to block Fume, making it really difficult for Fume to get the kill on Naruto. And Catfish is also quite low. Just do it. Base shot onto Catfish, and the Ram is going to seal the deal. And Fume is trying to drop down, but gets stuck for a little bit. I will go to the beach, and now NQRY will try to get Justo out of the fight. There's still a chance for SBZ to win this, but NQRY has the DPM, and they also have the cap. They have to share the hit points. Nice, the great double tap onto Just Do It. Just Do It dropping the tungsten shell. Big shot onto Speedstar, and that leaves Speedstar a one shot. And the T110E5 down the beach side is still on the beach, and with Just Do It out of the fight, out of the equation. And this is going to be NQRY. This brawl is really close. SBZ, great start with the push. I think that leaves NQRY a bit panicked. But I love how NQRY grouped themselves up in the end. Their focus fire is a bit better, in my opinion. And that is all it matters for me. NQRY brings it to the match point 2-1. And SBZ, it's now or never for them. They must win the next one. Otherwise, they are going to be in the 4th place in Group 2, and that does not bode them well in the top 8 fight. And I'm very surprised about this. Is so close. NQRY, I mean, there is a great chance for SBZ. If they could tidy their focus fire up a bit, I thought they could have won that one. Not gonna lie, that was extremely close, and NQRY didn't give up. Their focus fire is on point this time. They finally warmed up to the game. But SBZ, they're still struggling a little bit. But this is the one that they must perform. They have good idea. The last battle is close. Not gonna lie, they could have won it, given the circumstances. I mean, all of the 4 battles we've seen tonight against NQRY, SBZ have opportunities to bring it home. But those 2 battles, they were struggling with the focus fire a bit. I think the first battle, not that much with the focus fire, more to do with the strategy they deployed. But the last one, NQRY's discipline is a bit unmatched. With this one, this battle, SBZ must perform. No excuses. If they don't perform, they have to rely on the last Pro Skill tournament and also teams above them to drop cups. They could potentially be overtaken by EVG. This is the only chance. They must do something. They must win. NQRY, red team from the side of spawn, and they are not taking any light tanks still. And now we're seeing another huge aggressive play from both teams. Like I said, they don't have any light tanks, so they really have to streamline their forces in order not to be caught spread out. The double I7 have been spotted. Good shot from whoever it is on the Dorobird. I believe one of them bounced, and one of them just got a tremendous high roll. Good shot onto Dorobird, but I think there is a bit of a miscommunication in the focus fire. It seems that 2 vs 2 here is going in favor of NQRY, and Mamaye is, oh my god, an ammo rack onto Mamaye by flying pan. NQRY, a huge advantage here. Now SVZ, they want Disney out of the fight, and with Dorobird out of the game, Disney's out of the fight, and Speedstar and Uncrowned pretty much out of the battle, out of the fight. No, not in the fight at the moment. Great kill to Foom. NQRY's focus fire is still on point. XT3L is trying to get Afterworld out of the fight. Flying Pan is out. Afterworld is out. 5 vs 3. Naruto is out of the game, and it's now a 4 vs 3. SBZ, can they do a miracle here? NQRY, 4 relatively healthy tanks. Negative, very far forward. This is the focus for NQRY. Obviously, Speedstar, good kill onto negative, and they're marching forward, taking out the remaining 2 tanks of SBZ. What a game by NQRY. I feel so sorry for SBZ. They don't deserve the ammo rack. That totally changed the dynamic of this battle. And SBZ, they will feel really gutted about this match, this performance. I don't think they deserve to be treated that way. They were just being drawn into a tough group. The scene did them no favors at all. And how Jericho and Napoleon totally blown apart. But that was a hell of a match. Oh my god. NQRY will qualify to the lower bracket final. And SBZ, their hopes for the top 8 are now diminished considerably. It all comes down to the final day, but they are on the disadvantage here. SVZ, can they still get top 8? We will find out in the 4th previous skill tournament, but that last battle, they but that last battle they were very unlucky. I think after that Amarak they tried really hard to focus fire. I mean there is not much to fault about. They are high on the adrenaline, but NQRY simply matched the focus fire of SPZ, and when you are up by a tank and also hit points, and you have similar focus fire, you still can't win. You do not have the kind of the hardware to support you. And NQRY, the last two battles, they look a lot better, and we will see about the lower bracket final. Who will they fight against? Is it going to be INSRT again, or is it going to be Nomad? Flying Pan is going to be saying, Flying Pan say, wow. But what a fight! What a fight! Commiserations to SBZ. I think they play a lot better in the lower bracket first round, but I'm afraid they will be eliminated for tonight. We will take a look at the results of other groups. Okay, we have INSRT with the number 1, winning 3-1 against EQ, so no surprises there, in my opinion. INSRT will qualify to the lower bracket final. And then we have NQRY winning 3-1 against SVZ. SDIJ is still playing against Scam, with ARWV winning 2-1 against SDIJ. So this is not a chance for SDIJ to drop points, especially in the group that they should be able to finish in the 3rd place at least. So well done to ARWV. And as for Group 4, XPT is still playing against Lemur as they lost to Nomad 0-2. So that means our top 3 so that means we have Risk GB INSRT with the number 1, Nomad INSRT with a letter I, and NQRY are guaranteed at least a 3rd place on day 2. I have to say it's previous skill number 3, not number 2. I forgot to change that. But let's update the leaderboard now. Okay. So wait a sec. Okay. Now let's look at the leaderboard. With ABG qualifying to the upper bracket final, we now see EBG overtaking SVZ in the number of cups. INSRT still in the 8th place despite them qualifying to the upper bracket final, because we will have to wait whether XPT have won again, because XPT has more cups than INSRT at the start. So if XPT won against Lemur, then the gap will still be the same. And currently we have Risk ID Nomad GB still with 17,366 cups. NQRY with that win will still put them to 5th place and a good gap from the 9th place. ARWV might be able to overtake SBZ if they finish in the 2nd place or higher, but Nomad will further cement their position in the top 16. UQ in the 15th place, TSIA for now in the 16th place, and Lieber they must win against XPT in order to be in the tops, in order to qualify to the top 16. And that could send TSIA out of the way. Let me reload and see if we have results for groups 3 and 4. We do have results. SDIJ 3-1 and Lieber 3-1 against XPT, meaning XPT will finish in the 4th place tonight. Well done to Lieber and XPT. Their top 8 position is in jeopardy, and if INSRT gets the 2nd place, they will be overtaken. So let's look at the results here. Okay, so I've updated the leaderboard again. Not a lot of surprises. Have I updated the leaderboard? Let me generate that again. So for now, the 4 clans that will be finishing the 4th place will be SVZ, Scam, UQ, and XPT. And on the leaderboard, because SDIJ and also Lieber have gained cups. Lieber is still in the 18th place, and then SDIJ continues to increase their gap. Now in the 6th place, XPT finishing in the 4th place, but they will have to hope that INSRT finish in the 3rd, so they still have a comfortable gap from the 9th place. AVG, good chance for them to win their group outright tonight. They have a good draw. But I must say, that was exhilarating seeing NQRY versus SVZ. I hope SVZ gets a better seeding in the next previous skill tournament, because in no way should they be put up against 3 current top 8 teams, especially when they are fighting for a top 8 spot. So I hope that their seeding will improve. It will improve. Okay, so it got a little bit heated up. And the lower bracket first round, we already got some exciting stuff in the lower bracket first round. I can't wait to see the lower bracket final. Are we going to be seeing a tiebreaker? Are we going to be seeing a tiebreaker? I'm going to wait for the room invite to appear. I'm not sure if I should. Oh, the room invite's here. And it will be INSRT versus NQRY. Oh, it's a rematch. INSRT lost to Nomad. Nomad. 3-0. Or 3-1. 3-0 against INSRT. That is going to... I mean, that is a big performance. Not gonna lie. not gonna lie, that is a huge performance from for Nomad. I mean, with all those big margins being shown, I mean, all the big margins won by Nomad. I think there is no doubt about Nomad's pedigree. They are definitely looking to challenge for top 4. It looks more and more likely that they will be in the top 4 this season, because we have a couple of vacant spots left, due to EVG, Zarsu, and also Wise not playing this season. So with ID returning, so we have the big 6 clans. With 3 of them not playing this season, we are immediately left with 1 clan, 1 spot in the top 4, and Nomad is looking to get that spot. I'm excited to see what will happen in the autumn season, when we have 7 clans and maybe even NQRY, or I'm sure if they go back to really play, then we could potentially see the most competitive top 8 ever on the APAC server. Last year, the top 8 are very close in terms of skill. They were very close with one another. But I just can't stop talking about Risk almost not in the top 4. They are not in the top 4. The winner, Risk, was not in top 4 with 2 more rounds to go. They were in the 5th place at one point, and they managed to get into top 4 right at the end. It was so close. That season was totally bonkers. But ID 3-0 against ARWV. ARWV will play against SCIG again. But they have to get they have to grab a result against SCIG. This is the most important one for them. And Group 4, we are seeing EVG still play against Nomad. Nomad, this is a chance for them to get some cups and mount an unlikely challenge to the top 8. I believe the algorithm I'm testing, it shows Nomad has around 60% chance of qualifying to the top 8, so it's not entirely out of the equation that Nomad could end up in the top 8. But at the moment they're in the 12th place on the Cups leaderboard. I don't know. They will have to rely on a couple of clans above them to drop cups, but at least if they get the 2nd place, they will be in the better position. Although still in a disadvantageous position coming to the 4th Group Skill tournament, but they will be happy if they win against EVG. That will at least secure them a 2nd place. And now we're looking at the lineup for NQRY and INSRT. NQRY, Volcanic Venus cannot spectate because 2 spectator spots have been taken by Educated Idiot. Yeah, and also Shibuya. So NQRY will take double IS7 and IS4, double 1-3, 6TP and U100, with INSRT on the other hand taking double 6TPs, triple E5s, a Badger and an IS7. What will we see here? Let's find out now. Okay. I think we will see another big fight from both these teams. But INSRT, they have won some big clans, but most of those wins happened when the position is not decided. So, INSRT, if they win against NQRY, that would be a huge victory. NQRY much safer on the Cups leaderboard, so they could afford to drop some Cups tonight, but not INSRT. INSRT in the 8th place. So let's look at Strashny in the T125. Right, this is he's called Strashny. This is the Cyrillic transliteration, but flying pan. Big shot to Strashny as Strashny turns his turret to the left. Great starts from NQRY in the trading. And then INSRT is spreading out a lot at the moment. And if they get A, that will send a message they don't want to do that, and they are not getting A at all. But NQRY is rushing nonetheless. This is going to be a good call for NQRY, and INSRT has to respond to that push. Naruto and also Flying Pan will have to stay behind because they will get pushed potentially. They're trying to defend. With Horizon now out of the fight, Blanks is trying to retreat, but INSRT have to take out the Naruto and Flying Pan. In terms of hit points, NQRY is in huge favor. Big shots onto Naruto and Crown Bargain, but Blanks will be out of the fight. 7 versus 5. NQRY looking really good here. Crown Bargain down to 1 shot. Catfish could get a kill, but it's a miss from Catfish. And INSRT will try to get Naruto out of the way, but Wooper bounced the shot there. Got a bit too close to Naruto, unfortunately. NQRY, Catfish doing 1 versus 1, and sending the rest of the team support Naruto. Naruto is out of the fight finally, but it has cost INSRT 3 tanks to take out 1 tank of NQRY. Great job to NQRY in that push. Those 3 tanks down in the middle was defensive enough to buy time for NQRY to take out enough tanks. And Wooper is taken out by Uncrowned, and that was a decisive victory for NQRY. That was totally brutal. You might ask how INSRT won the first 2 battles, but this was a huge victory for NQRY. That will put them to a strong start. 1-0 to NQRY. I think that win against SBZ sends them on an upward trajectory. Look at how brutal they are. Great push. Good focus fire. This is more like the NQRY want to see. Amazing stuff. So that means, and also they have six tanks doing more than 2k. Almost, so essentially all the tanks of NQRY are important. Wow, what a start. What a strong start for NQRY. Let's not talk about the 1 versus 1 final. That was a bit of I'm not going to say something bad about that, but it was highly unusual. It was highly unusual. But then you could understand because because we have the previous skill tournament going on, so most of the time would be dedicated to training rather than grinding, raising battles. But we're not going to talk too much about that because we'll focus our attention on NQRY versus INSRT on the second battle of Dynasties Pro. So far we have NQRY double IS-3s, an IS-4 double IS-7, 60 TP and the E100 if INSRT going for triple E5s, double 60 TPs of EK and an IS-7. Let's go in.
Move out.
Red team, NQRY from the north spawn this time. Are they going back to the park side? But INSRT this time, committing most of the forces over to the city side, the A area. So let's see. It will be about the caps, I would say. INSRT seems to be going to both A and B a bit more quickly than NQRY is to C, but at the same time, NQRY can say that everyone try to get B. Not out of the question. INSRT, they have blanks dropping into A already, and Kramwagen will soon be at A. In A. And that will give INSRT the cap lead. And Naruto, great shot onto Sharshni. And NQRY will try to get C. Speedstar hiding behind the fountain. Will get C nonetheless. That will put them just only one shot away from flipping the cap. What will NQRY do? Oh, good shot onto blanks. Will NQRY send everyone to capture B, or will they rotate instead? Will they take a risk to capture B, or will they rotate? That's the million-dollar question. We have Mercy hiding very far at the back near the edge of the map. Whooper in the PK90. He's no mouse, so he cannot make use of the good armor that the mouse possesses. But that tank is not quite nimble, so could quickly rotate and also wiggle some shots away. Uncrowned, a lot of responsibility. That E100 trying to spot tanks in the city. But NQRY is doing a little bit better with the trading, so it will put them in a better advantage when it comes to rotation. Whooper takes another hit from Speedstar, so far so good for NQRY. They're steadily gaining a hit point advantage, and this is what we want. This is good for them. And Uncrowned in that E100, still finding no one to shoot at, but will be very crucial to spot where the tanks are. Catfish already rotated back to the spawn. NQRY a bit spread out at the moment. Oh, interesting move from NQRY. They are retreating. They're trying to rotate from their spawn. I think this could be their call. They're not spotted retreating, and INSRT does not know this. Do not know this. Will INSRT be caught by surprise by what NQRY is going to do next? But XT3R has been spotted, so INSRT knows that NQRY will rotate from their spawn. And this is what INSRT is trying to do. They are trying to retreat. They're going to rotate and phase whatever comes from NQRY spawn. And NQRY, are they going to surprise them again by rotating back through C and go and take out Whooper? INSRT is now fully ready, fully expecting a push coming from NQRY spawn. Catfish, XT3R all spotted. INSRT, now the time to show that they are capable of defending a cap advantage. At the same time, NQRY is getting B. Great sneaky move there by INSRT. Big shot onto Strashly. Strashly down to one shot, and NQRY could get B, but INSRT makes it really difficult. Strashly's now killed. INSRT is trying to make a counter push onto Speedstar, but is it going to be too late though? NQRY is still holding on, but NQRY also is pushing into the city, trying to get Whooper and Unvalgan out of the fight. And the hit points are in huge favor for NQRY now. NQRY will focus Whooper next, and INSRT is still trying to kill Catfish. It has taken them way too long in doing that. Whooper down to a one shot and will be killed very, very soon. Mercy needs to put a big shout, but it's a miss, unfortunately. NQRY gets the win with the capture on B and a decent call with the push onto through the middle. That push through a spawn, they actually sent 2 tanks there. So great one, great job from NQRY. And INSRT looks like a shell of themselves so far. They weren't they weren't quick enough as well or maybe in this sense not as quick as NQRY. NQRY seemingly in control of the situation. Also, they traded better. Strashny lost all of his hit points in trying to reset B. And INSRT was not quick enough to take out the 1-1-3s. By the time the 1-1-3s are down, NQRY has already taken B and pretty much took out the tanks of INSRT, trying to defend that push as well. So all in all, I think INSRT was struggling with shot efficiency a little bit. I think NQRY was playing a lot better. It's hard to point out the mistakes of INSRT, to be honest with you. It's more to do with NQRY getting every step correct. If it continues this way, and NQRY will at least be in the top 2 of group 2, and INSRT is in trouble of dropping out of top 8 unless they win against NQRY, and XPT will be safe for another day. In the previous skill tournaments, they will have the advantage coming into previous skill number 4. And this is match point for NQRY, and also Nomad. NQRY. NQRY, can they bring it home? Can they win 3-0 against an underperforming INSRT so far? Thousands of different map. It can be a totally different story, but INSRT needs to start performing. Otherwise, it will be bad omen for him. INSRT tries to capture C with Kramwagen. They will get a cap lead, but like last battle, a cap lead is not going to matter too much if you don't trade well. NQRY tries to put some good shots, but Naruto also gets a hit. He's taking the concept 1B, which is good for hold down, and a lot of DPM as well, almost 3k. But we will see. C is captured. Some shots fired from NQRY's perspective, but none of them have hit anything or materialized, and Blanks is trying to capture A with T110E5. Catfish trying to guess where Blanks is, but he's not there. And INSRT will get A, will further extend the cap advantage. Blanks is now spotted, but it's a bit too late. It might be too late. Like, Catfish is saving that shell, not trying to get himself spotted. Kramwagen, it's still there. And NQRY, are we going to be seeing a push from NQRY? I think we are seeing a push. Speedstar coming from behind. Struggling to go up this ledge here. Takes a shot from Horizon. So we could see a 1 versus 1 happening around this area. Naruto and Wooper. Can Naruto bring it home? This will mean NQRY can focus their forces onto Horizon instead. 2 versus 1. Good shot from Wooper onto Speedstar. Speedstar quite low, but NQRY has to win this battle here. 1 versus 1 of Kramwagen against Catfish. Will focus in this 1 versus 1 fight for now. There's a bounce from Kramwagen. Important bounce. Catfish now on the advantage. Great shot onto Kramwagen, but I think Catfish is going to win this 1 versus 1 fight. It will be the case. At the same time, we have INSRT losing 3 tanks already. Hit was in huge favor of NQRY. Mercy looking to get uncrowned out of the fight. It will be the case. Strashny chasing down Flying Pan. Siraj very low. Mercy out of the fight. It's a 5 versus 3. INSRT in deep trouble. Make sure to XT3 out. But is it going to matter much? Strashny on fire. Will be taken out by Catfish and XT3 out. Down to 1 shot. Blanks the last person standing. NQRY will go to the will qualify to the grand final 3-0. They will be safe in the top 8 for another day. Well done to NQRY. And commiserations to INSRT. There is a great chance for INSRT to drop out of top 8 tonight. Wow. What a comeback from NQRY, and that is a top 8 performance for you. NQRY looking very strong after the victory against SBZ, and they continue their momentum. Now they are facing Nomad in the grand final. This group of death turns out to be the defining moment for all of these clans here. INSRT losing to NQRY 0-3. Their top 8 hopes are on a thread, hanging by a thread. We will see about EVG versus Nomad. If EVG finishes 3rd tonight, then, oh well, what can I say? Risk 3-2 against GV. That was a tiebreaker. Wow. And then we have Group 2. We are already in the grand final, and GV only started playing against INSRT, I believe. ARWV still playing against SDIJ, and EVG 3-1 against Nomad. Important win from EVG. And then Nomad against Lemur. They are still playing at the moment. But let's take a look at the cups. With Nomad and NQRY in the grand final. And then we have Risk also in the grand final. EVG also in the grand final. And also ID in the grand final. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. The INSRT is still in the top 8 with 11,020 cups. EVG in the 9th place, 10,196 cups. It's not going to be enough for EVG to overtake INSRT tonight unless they finish in the 1st place. But then we have Risk, ID, and Nomad tied the 1st place with 18,524 cups. GV at the moment will have 70,366 cups, and if NQRY does not win the 1st place, and I don't think if they win the 1st place they will overtake GV. The top 4 is still going to be Risk, ID, Nomad, and GV. So in the end, the top 8 did not change after tonight's games, and it all boils down to the very last day. Will Lemur rise to the top 16? Okay, so we have less than 3 minutes to go. And we are seeing Nomad double Super Conqueror by X4 and My Aim No Sense. I remember that name. IS7 by Kazuya, yes. And TDR with the T11085. It's the first time we're seeing them play tonight. Double IS4 by Resistor and Spectre. Yes. And Cocoa and the T100LT. I should trust my memory more because I definitely remember those names, but I just have trust issues myself, so I just keep checking those names. NQRY, Naruto, Type 71, Catfish 113 alongside Shibuya, Flying Pan, 60TP, Double T110E5 by Speedstar, and XT3 out and crowned in a Badger. Ooh, okay. Hellas. The first time we're seeing Hellas in it. I mean, it's really long time since we have Hellas. It was not in the map pool for the autumn season. I'm not sure if it was in the map pool for the winter season either. So it will be quite some time. Since then, I'm not sure. It might have been in the winter season, but Hellas was removed from the map pool for the winter season. NQRY and Nomad. It doesn't matter where they finish here, but if NQRY gets the first place, then they will have they will be sitting at a comfortable margin in the top 8. So NQRY wants to get whatever they want, get whatever advantage they have to win against Nomad. And NQRY is definitely on the up after 3-0 victory against SBZ and 3-1 victory 3-0 victory against INSRT and 3-1 victory against SBZ. They are on an upward trajectory, and Nomad needs to be careful. But NQRY's upturn in performance, recent upturn in performance. Coco and T100LT going to do the spotting. Will they spot the NQRY's forces going into B? No, I don't think they did. But we can see a big brew coming here. NQRY very aggressive over the AB area. Nomad is holding off, weathering the storm, trying to wear out NQRY, but NQRY exactly still have taken a couple hits. Actually, NQRY, a big aggressive push at the start didn't quite materialize to something good. Nomad is holding up well. Now they got saved. The only T100 LT on the battlefield. NQRY being quite aggressive at the start. If they don't push now, Kazuya and Coco will flank from behind. And NQRY don't know this, so they can be forgiven for holding off for a little bit. But will NQRY start pushing? They now start pushing. But they're pushing onto 5 versus 5. So this is all down to focus fire. Nomad, Speedstar pushing in right at the start, dropping the reactive armor, and NQRY has to call a focus. Naruto has been taken out. Big first kill for Nomad, and Nomad is now under big hit point pool advantage. Uncrowned, big shot onto Spectre. It's now a 6 versus 5. Catfish now out of the way. And NQRY is in trouble. That push didn't work. Resistor is now down. Is now a focus for NQRY, and Shibuya is down to 1 shot. But we are seeing another tank out for NQRY. Shibuya is now out of the way. 6 versus 3. Nomad doesn't seem to feel any pressure from NQRY's upturn in performance. They are looking very strong indeed. And I'm very impressed about their performance. They definitely improved from the autumn season. They focus fire was a lot better, and their strategy as well is also a lot better. And I am very impressed. I mean, it was just only like 2 seasons ago they looked like they were just starting off, but now 2 seasons later, look how far they have come. That was a tremendous performance by Nomad. 1-0. And NQRY, that push I think would make sense if they happened a little bit earlier, but still, if they don't make that push, still if they time that push at the exact moment, their focus fire is lacking a little bit. They were struggling to connect with one another, and Nomad just soaking up all the pressure. No issue for them. They have a lot of hit points to begin with, and they trade it better too. Good focus fire as well. So a great start for Nomad. And let's look at the results of Group 1, if we have any actually. They're still playing against INSRT with the number 1, and Group 1 we have Lemur versus Nomad, and they are still playing at the moment. SDIJ versus Alsok. Alsok has won 3-1 against SDIJ in the lower bracket final, and they will meet ID again in the grand final. Well done to SDIJ. No, to Alsok, sorry. And that will put SDIJ in a less comfortable position in the top 8. And Alsok will be closing in, but they still have a big gap to bridge in order to get in the top 8. But at least we will have a we'll have an exciting challenges tournament to follow. Our sock in this will get at least a second place in the leaderboard. They're now in the 10th place. I will show you quickly, but we don't have time. Nomad, this time what tanks are they going to be taking? Let's find out now. They will take 6 TP, an IS-7, a Strift K, a T100L10, triple T110E5s, an NQRY, double 6 TP, double IS-7, a Strift K, and double T110E5s. Let's get up high and see where they're going. Nomad, red team from the north spawn, and we have NQRY, blue team from the south spawn. Oh, Catfish is spotted. XT3 out spotted, Shibuya is spotted, Coco was spotted as well, without shooting anything, but at least Nomad would know where NQRY's tanks are going to. But NQRY still not, NQRY not taking a light tank. They're forced to play really aggressively, but this time Nomad's not going for B and A. So that means the NQRY could get both A and B caps, and Nomad could only get C. So NQRY will get a cap advantage, but as we all know, getting an advantage, cap advantage on A and B is not going to matter too much. Hellas is quite an open map, and all Nomad needs to do is to pincer NQRY well. And I think Nomad could do that. They have to, and they are spreading out quite a little bit, but this will send NQRY into Pandemonium because of what Nomad is going to do very soon. Look at what Nomad is doing from their own spawn and what they could do from NQRY's spawn. And Nomad just have to communicate well in this situation. And NQRY, they have to weather the storm. They have to trade better. But Nomad is closing in. They are taking control of the situation, but at the same time, we can see NQRY making a counter push onto the C side of Nomad. So Nomad can push onto C. So that means Nomad will try to push from B, and they could get a cap. They could get a cap. NQRY is essentially losing all A and B caps, and that will be terrible, terrible news for NQRY. And NQRY has to get those two Nomad tanks as quickly as possible and get C next. And Nomad will get A and B quickly. And NQRY is now rotating back to their spawn. Now they're trying to take X4 of the way. Catfish is now out of the fight. X4 is out. It's now a 5 versus 6. NQRY looking good at the moment, but they have lost all 3 caps. And Ground didn't go for C. I don't know why. They're going to be under huge pressure with the caps now. The hit points are now very close too. Nomad, if they could kill some tanks, that would be good news. Oh, good kill from TDR and Speedstar. But they are now under more than 2k of hit points advantage. NQRY, they have to start killing tanks too. Uncrowned is going to be a one-shot. TDR is out of the fight. 4 versus 5. Uncrowned is out of the game. XT3 out. 1 versus 1 against Mako. And NQRY retakes A. But Nomad has taken 3 caps at one point, and now they now have the cap advantage. Pressure is back onto NQRY. They need to get the caps out of the way. Mako is out of the fight, but it's going to be a 2 versus 1 against an IS-7. And Nomad is taking some time to get the 60 TP. Oh no. NQRY, they need to get the caps. Good kill onto Shibuya. But can they get the kills quickly enough? Nomad, they just have to stay alive and they will win the second battle. 980 cap points, and this is it. Nomad 2-0 against NQRY. Oh, questions will be raised. Uncrowned should have gone for C, should have captured C. That was a free cap for NQRY. They underestimated the issue with all 3 caps being taken by Nomad. I mean, they've rotated back to retake A, And they could try to get B as well. I think they heavily underestimated the cap play of Nomad here. Nomad, they have all three. They have all three caps at one point. They were under 200 cap points at in that situation, and look how quickly they have caught up with NQRY. NQRY. That was not a that was not a bad match for bad battle for them in terms of the brawls and the pushes. The caps let them down. If they have paid more attention to the caps, they would have got that win easily. No doubts about that. Nomad was struggling a lot, but also credits to them bring it really close to the end, and I think lots of complicated, sophisticated focus fire helped them on the way too. And this is match point for Nomad, and we are back. We are now on Winter Marinovka, and NQRY on the verge of finishing second again. Oh, hallelujah. That was a really long time. How are you? GV versus INSRT with the number 1. They're still playing. Oh, we could see a tiebreaker. But doesn't matter if GV lost. They will be still in the top 8. Lemur and also Nomad. They're still playing. It could be a tiebreaker also. Oh, I think. I would send you all to watch. I don't know. Should I send you all to watch XAFK's stream? We will talk about the cups then. After this. But Group 2 games have finished quite. Will be finishing quite quickly, but Nomad looking really dangerous. I don't know. That is going to put them close to the top 4 now. But they will have challenge against the likes of ID, Risk, and GB, so it all depends on that. But Nomad looks good, looks solid at the moment. I would even go far and say Nomad will be a contender for the season, and this will be the first time they will win the season. It will be good for them, actually. Uncrowned. Looking at B. And X4 is trying to get B. And they will be captured by NQRY. And they will get NQRY. They will get A. NQRY would not get NQRY. NQRY would get A. A would not get NQRY. Oh god, I just confused you all. C will be captured by Nomad. And X4, oh... This is the issue with getting B, is that if you want to get out of B, it will be quite difficult. And NQRY made a good start on diminishing the hit points of X4, and they made a call to push onto Cassia. Nomad is in deep trouble, but at the same time, Nomad is pushing in, so they are making a counter push, so it's all about shot efficiency. Whoever can get the tanks out more quickly will win this one. It seems Nomad is getting out of the tanks more quickly on their push, and NQRY is still trying to get Cassia out of the way. And now they finally got Cassia. It's a 5 versus 7. Nomad, although they haven't got any kills so far, but they now got a kill on Crown. Naruto is now quite low. And Mino is going to get the kill to Naruto. It is the case. And they are now trying to get XT3 out here. Nomad with more hit points. TDR is killed. It's very close actually. But NQRY is a little bit slower than Nomad in the shot efficiency. But that's a big bounce from Kokor onto XT3 out. Speedstar X3 out 4 versus 3. Nomad on an advantage with the number of guns. But at the same time, NQRY with more hit points, and this is going to be extremely crucial. NQRY gets speed back. Good cap there. Catfish is trying to put shots onto mine, no sense. I think they really have to start killing tanks, NQRY. They will lose Flying Pan. They lost Flying Pan. Mako down to a one-shot. Catfish gets the kill. The hit point's still really close, and Shibuya is not going to last for long. 3 versus 1 there. Big shot onto Shibuya. Catfish has to take out mine, no sense. That will be the case, but I'm afraid Catfish may have to run away. Nomad will try to retake B, and Catfish will try to get C. I'm not sure if Catfish could get C. I think this game will go to Nomad. Nomad with better shot efficiency. It is the most important here. And NQRY slower in the shot efficiency. It was all down to that. All down to shot efficiency. Focus fire was pretty much equal for both teams. And now the IS-7 and Spectre have caught up. But at the same time, all base shot from Spectre onto Catfish, and Catfish will be taken out by Kokua. Nomad will win the group with a 3-0 decisive victory against NQRY. Well done to NQRY. Sorry, Nomad. But also well done to NQRY for getting the second place. Important wins against INSRT and also SPZ meant that they will still be in the top 8 for coming to the fourth previous year. They will have a great they will bridge a great gap to the 9th place, whoever that will be tonight. So let's take a look at the now. We have Nomad 3-0 first place, and we can put that in. Oh my god, no. It's not supposed to click that. Okay, so it will be GB winning 3-1 against INSRT. Here we go, at least a second place. I'm going to register that. So, in... RSOC 3-1 against SDIJ, which we have known already. Next we have Nomad still playing against Nemo, definitely going to the tiebreaker. So group 2 games have already finished, but not group but not even the lower bracket final for group 4. Sorry for the burp. But yeah. But at least Nomad will now be the first place, 20,842 cups. If EVG get the first place, let's assume that will be the case here. EVG will be in the 7th place, bring INSRT down to the 9th place. So we will take that as the threshold for the as the one to calculate against. So I'm going to go back to the trivia. Let's go back to this slide here, and I can bring up the leaderboard, which is here. Okay, so this is the leaderboard. This is the leaderboard as of now. So we're going to we have finished a group, the third previous skill tournament, and then we have a fourth previous skill tournament. So essentially, if these clans, if the current top 8 clans finish in the 2nd place of on both days, and they're all right. So what is the gap between these? Between the 2nd and 3rd place altogether? If you finish in the 3rd place on day 2, this gap will be 1,763 cups. So calculate that, and then we add the cups to INSRT. So it's 12,783 cups. So INSRT will have at that point 12,783 cups. You just add the gap, okay? The gap is more important, not the actual cup. So you see what I mean there. So 12,783 cups. So in the end, EBG would not be safe, but XPT would be in trouble if they finish the position lower than insert, let's say in the 9th place, that will possibly be the result tonight. SDIJ will still be safe, but it's very close to being eliminated. So, and also the first, second place, that will also matter. So what if we have this gap over? Let's look at the gap over here. That gap will be 4,067 cups. So in this case, insert will have not the screen, 16,850 cups. So if you calculate that, they will potentially overtake NQRY if NQRY finish second and third place. So I would say any clan below the top 4 at the moment is not safe yet in the top 8. So essentially, how much cups? I mean, let's consider GB 18,524 cups. So, how bad do they have to perform in order not to be in the top 8? Just going to erase all the ink on this slide and let's do that calculation now. Assume for some reason GB did not qualify to second day, so this already will give you, do the calculation, 2,032 2 cups of gap, and this will give you 6,099 cups of gap. Okay, so add that in, and then we have the second day. Okay, so once again, we use insert as the threshold for the 9th place. So in this situation, when insert finished first and GV in the 3rd place, then how about if insert finish in the 4th place on day 2? They will still not overtake GB, because in that situation, insert will have at that point 18,004 cups, adding the gap of the cups. So how about if insert finish the 3rd place, and that will give insert 18,887 cups, which means GB, they have to hope that insert finish in the 4th place on the second day and not the 1st place on the 1st day. How about if insert finish second on the 1st day, and that gap would give them 40,820 cups if insert finish 3rd. So I'm going to mark that down. So if insert finished in the 2nd place, that will be 16,583. And how about 1st place? 20,112 cups. Okay. So erase all the ink. So for example, if any of the top 4, so let's actually forget about this. GV. So essentially, let's put it another way. Nomad is safe, pretty much safe in the top 8 if they participate in the 4 Through the Skill tournament, and even if they don't qualify to the second day, they are through to the top 8 mathematically. But they have to absolutely play in the 4 Through the Skill tournament. They are not mathematically safe for now. As for GV. So GV, they have to hope that INSRT will not be in the first place on the first day. If they're in the first place, they have to hope that they will not finish in the they have to hope that they will finish in the fourth place, which is highly unlikely given the seeding of INSRT. They at least will finish in the third place. So so for GV, they must still qualify to the next day, and if that's the case, the worst situation possible would be for GV to finish second on the first day and fourth on the second day. In this situation, the gap would be 4,067, or risk in that sense, plus 6,175 cups, which amounts to 10,242 cups. Add that to INSRT's number of cups, then you will know they could still overtake GV. So how much? So what is the minimum that GV has to do in order to get to top 8 safely? In that situation, all they need to do okay, so for third place, it will be then third place will be, okay, so once again 6,175. Sixth place 5,292. So add that up, we have 9,359. Add that to the number of cups that INSRT have at the moment. Still beyond, still above GB. So GB, if they finish in the second place, then on the second day and second place on the first day, that they will be safe. I think. Let me double check. So that will be 35,929. Add that to this 7,596. So yeah, if you add that to GV's number of cups that they have at the moment, 80,616, which is still not enough. For GV to be above INSRT. So how about if INSRT do not finish in the first place? The gap between the second and the fourth place would be 2,646. So in this situation, then yes, then we'll be fine. GV will have to hope that INSRT does not finish in the first place. Then they can tank in the fourth place in the second previous skill tournament and still be in the top 8. So what INSRT needs to do on the final day will be first place on day 1 and first place on day 2. They will be so what the top 4 colors do not want to do is to see INSRT finish first place on day 1 and first place on day 2. But either way, the top 4 are quite safe. They have to completely screw up in order to drop out of top 8. So I would say Nomad, Risk, IDGB will be fine. NQRY is a different story though. NQRY. NQRY 60,002 cups. Okay. So in this case, again, 4607. This is a potential situation. And then, how about this. The following, of course, if INSRT finishes first, then NQRY have to finish first, no matter what happens. The gap between NQRY and also INSRT currently is 4,982. Okay. So X. So in order for NQRY to be safe in the top 8, considering INSRT has finished first in on day 1, then X would be needs to be smaller than 915. So this means if NQRY finish position lower than INSRT, then in this situation only if NQRY finish 4th and INSRT finishing 3rd will NQRY still be above INSRT, because this is just 883. Okay, so NQRY, they have to hope that they finish in the first place, obviously, and then things will be different. It'll be different on the second day. If they finish first, then they are pretty much safe, unless INSRT does not finish first, then INSRT will not overtake NQRY anyhow. Okay, and after that, and then all the clans from 6th place below would be a huge toss-up. All depends on the very last day. Okay, let's see. We have more results coming in, and we can update the leaderboard. Change the scene. All right, let's find out now. Okay, we still have one more. We have one more group finish with the game, with the match, grand final match. Let's find out which group it is. Okay, ID 3-1 against RWV, which means ID will get the first place alongside Nomad. Okay, so it all depends on the on group 2 and 4. Nomad 3-1 against Lemur. Important result for Nomad. And EVG will play against Nomad in the grand final. I mean, this is going to put Nomad in the 12th place now. SBZ is still in the 11th place. And EVG is still in the 9th place as of now. If Nomad wins against EVG, then EVG will be in the 9th place, and things could. What I said during the slides would not be important now, and yes. Let's wait for a couple more. Let's actually wait until the results are here. Then we can summarize whether the stuff I say on the slides are useful or not. Okay, so let me grind this riff in tier 5. So for now, Nomad ID essentially safe in the top 8, virtually safe in the top 8, and we will know whether it will be Risk or GB virtually safe in the top 8 too. NQRY looking safe in the top 8 too. The very last day will boil down to SGIJ, XPT, INSRT, EVG, and perhaps RSOC, SPZ, and maybe even Nomad. Okay, so there are like 7 clans that could still be in the top 8. Yeah, Asia is sold out this season despite having a better price pool than the winter season. Yes, Kane. Nomad is in the top 4 at the moment. I think they stand a good chance to get in top 4. Another decisive victory against NQRY. I don't think. I think Nomad will take the last spot in top 4. And I also think they could even contend for the victory. If I remember correctly, RN has not won a single season, and neither has Nomad. But this could be a good chance for them to do so. ID vs GB all won a season at least, so it's not new for them. But Nomad will be new. It will be new for Nomad. Okay, I'm finally in. Hopefully, I will win this time.
Move out.
But we can safely say Nomad has improved considerably compared to how they performed in the autumn season last year. Yeah, that's. Oh, someone going down the beach side. Oh, I spotted Lago. Just only 1 tank spotted. Our light time not even spotting anything. Oops, I get shots at. Oh, 2 shots been fired. Oh, KV1 is KV1 AFK. No, they're not AFK. What? How did that not pan? Oh, I'm now very, very low. Now we have to rely on the heavies to do something. Maybe I could get a better position going here, potentially. Don't know if I will get a shot, though. But let's hope I will not be shot.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh, we lost a tank. Yeah.
We didn't penetrate
No,
the armor.
that was a bounce.
We didn't even scratch them.
Not a bounce. Oh, is it that difficult to penetrate it?
We didn't even scratch them.
Holy macro. Nah.
This vehicle is
Not a loss. Not a loss. Sorry. I am suffering from this tank a lot. The moment not going to be able to speed grind this tank if I'm not able to win any games. Do we have more results coming through from groups 1 and 4? Okay, we have results from Group 4 now. Group 4. Oh my god! Nomad won 3-0 against EVG. That's a huge opportunity. Not taken by EVG. That was a great result by Nomad. Well done to Nomad. That will send Nomad to the top 8 now. Oh my god. Whoa. No, did anyone expect Nomad to be in the top 8? No, I don't think so. But what an evening for Nomad. At least what I said about INSRT being the threshold for the 9th place is correct. Nomad in the top 8. Oh wow. Oh wow. I am flabbergasted. Well, however, but that's just not to take away the fact that Nomad have done really well tonight. Topping Group 4, nobody expected that to happen. That will increase their odds in getting top 8 considerably, but we still have the 4th proof of skill tournament to go, and they also do not have the best draw, best seeding as well. It will go down to the very last day, I'm afraid. But yes, we now have 3 clans. We have 3 group winners. Nomad, ID, and Nomad. If we also have the results of Group 1, then I think we can end the stream. And they're still playing. They're still playing. Let me play another game then in the stream. It's another defeat, sadly. I mean, Nomad came out of nowhere. Waited for way too long for that. Let's see if we have. Let's see if the group 1. Let's see if Group 1 has finished. Yes, Group 1 has finished. GV 3-1 against Risk, which means Risk gets the 2nd place tonight. So what I said about GV in the slides, now assume that to be Risk. Okay, so Risk will now have to defend. They now have a challenger to defend the title. But this will be a good season for I mean, the top 3 will be an interesting one. Risk versus GV. GV would now be the other safe clan in the top 8. So well done to everyone. Well done to the clans tonight. Well done especially to Nomad. Now they are in top 8. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you 2 days later, the start of the 4th proof of skill tournament. Until then, have a safe evening. Have a nice evening. Bye.